What's going on, y'all? WD-40 here. Hopefully my microphone sounds a lot better than it did on the last video, so I'm kind of re-upping this video and, redoing it, and hopefully the microphone this time everybody can hear it. I don't know. I got a Navita new driver last night, and it resetted my things, and I didn't catch it. But, so I'm just going to redo this video here. Let's start off with Zelensky, I believe, did this on his own. And I'm going to tell you here why. And I'm going to make this video pretty short and sweet. You can go to my last video and crank up your volume on your machine or your phone, headphones or something. And you'll get more in depth of what I said. So I'm going to make this one kind of short and sweet. And I hope you guys can hear it this time. I'm calling out BS. I think Ukraine did this on their own. And I'm going to show you some evidence and proof. And only the blind is not going to see this, I'm telling you. First off, let's look at all these parts that are laying here on the ground, okay? We have a completely blacked out, charred engine here, okay? Most of the heads are just completely devastated. They're gone, okay? Now let's jump over here to what I'm calling engine number 2. And you can see we got a hole in one head. But the heads ain't tore off like it is over here on engine 1. Okay, you can see most of this head is gone. Next thing I want you guys to look at is on these two engines here is, see this part here? It's got to be some kind of a cooler or something for the crankshaft. It's not here. It's not on this engine. Now, look at your engines here. One's charred out and black, like it's been in a fire. Yet you have practically a new one. Now I'm going to guess these are Russian engines, but they're like Lada engines that came out of a tractor, you know, a farming tractor. And I want you guys to look here and look here. You have a harmonic balancer where your props would go, plain props would go, and you have no harmonic balancer here. This one's silver. This one is black. This is charred harmonic balancer. That isn't a harmonic balancer. This one don't have a harmonic balancer. Where's this part at? See this part right here? This line? I'm gonna guess that's an oil pump line maybe, or yeah, I'm gonna say that's an oil pump. But you don't have one here on either side, do you? Now let's take a look at these vacuum lines. Here and here. Well, this is a battery cable, a terminal. Probably a positive for the starter. We don't have one here at all. There's no wire. There's no terminal wire here, or battery terminal wire. None whatsoever. Now, this is probably a vacuum line right here for the Lada engine. We don't have it here, okay? Now, if we took this engine and we did a 180 and flipped this engine right here, it's still going to be black and charred underneath. It ain't black and charred over here on engine number 2 though, is it? Okay. There's just one thing just on the engines, right? Okay. Now, let's make the page bigger here. Now let's go over here and look at these two pieces of shrapnel, debris, whatever. These numbers were freshly painted. You can tell it's too bright. Any aircraft that's been out for hell longer than a few months or a year, the sun will sun fade these pretty good. And also look, these are aligned perfectly in the middle of both pieces, kind of like they've been stenciled on and then painted with safety paint, yellow safety paint. Now I'm pretty sure these are two different pieces of the aircraft, so these numbers would not be on the left and the right side of that plane or that drone. Next, I want you to come over here and look at this part right here. This, I'm going to say, is off a Lada, a car Lada. And if you guys don't know what a Lada is, it is a Russian car. It's been around, the Lada has been around longer than I've been on this planet. Now, anybody who is a mechanic or knows anything about cars, this is part of your steering. You're not putting a wheel on this. You would have U-joints. You would have U-joints and everything else connected to this. This is the part of the car, for you non-mechanics out there, this is part of your car that helps your left and right tires turn. Unless you got a new EV that crab walks, then you would have 4 of these to turn your wheels left and right. Okay, let's get out of that because I'm trying to make this quick. And next, let's look at the explosion. Okay, here's your explosion. If a drone flew in from the outside in, everything in here, right here, would be pushed in, not out. You can plainly see that this was an explosion from inside Chernobyl, not from the outside. Okay, here's just one thing. Let's go inside Chernobyl now. Okay, here's where I believe somebody did a controlled explosion with C4, because here's your burn marks right here, and it went to the northwest and blew out the roof. And again, let's zoom in. Right here, you can see parts of this support beam is blown up and chunks are blown out. And here's your char mark right here. You can also tell right here, all through here, there was an explosion out, not coming in. Okay? And then look down here. If something fell in, this would be ripped and torn out of the picture. It wouldn't have just dropped right there. And yes, concrete could have caused that. It could have. But if you have a controlled explosion right here, you're going to blow that chunks of concrete right here and put out right here. Okay. Now, let's head over to a video. And this video here, I took off of CNN. But it doesn't matter where the source comes from, because they're all showing the same thing. Now I want you guys to notice during this video up here, there's nothing in the air. Nothing. You got a bright explosion like C4, and then you see flames come out of the building and go back in. Any fire marshal out there will tell you this is called a backdraft, and that's caused by a controlled explosion from within inside. Now, I want you to take a picture and look over here, over at these spotlights. You have the spotlights over here spotlighting exactly, already exactly where this explosion's getting ready to go off. And you can see it when I play the video. A light comes on, and it's almost like putting a laser pointer to it, telling somebody where it needs to go. Boom, there's your light, there's your explosion. Now, how in the world did the soldiers in Ukraine know to turn that spotlight on before this disaster happened? And then if I play the video even farther, that light really comes on bright. This is C4 all day, and this is made by Zelensky. He's out of his cocaine drug money, and Americans, we ain't funding them no more. There's no need to. We know we've been bamboozled and lied to. Also, I did a little research on what Chernobyl's dome was made out of. It's a massive steel and concrete structure. And you look a little farther, and you find out that this damn dome can handle up to an EF5 tornado. But a little mosquito, and here it is right here. It can withstand a tornado. It's 39,600 pounds. Costs $1.2 billion, 350 feet high. There's no way a mosquito drone ever could penetrate that. Not in today's world, unless you're using a bunker buster. And bunker buster makes a lot bigger explosions than that. Yeah, so there you have it. If you want to hear more in-depth, go hit up my last video. It's got super low volume. I apologize for that. Hopefully y'all can hear this one, and this is just a quick rundown. This is WD-40. Let's get these Ukrainian monkeys off our back, because they lying like a bunch of feces throwing monkeys at the zoo. I'm out this beer.